evening everyone and welcome to BSRTV. This is round 7, 8 and 9 coverage from the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship with Engine Oil Direct. It's the Pro Series. There's 96 rounds of this mammoth season, and after a week off I'm joined, myself Andrew Woodhouse, joined in the commentary box by Alex Simpson and the returning Adam Bath. Adam, welcome.
Yeah, good to be here, Andrew. 3 races coming up once again tonight in this brilliant series around the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. It's short, it's quick, and I can't wait for the race to get started. We've got about 1 minute left in the qualifying session, and at the top of the standings it is Sebastian Joe.
Indeed he is for Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson bring you in, Apex Racing UK team manager. Alex, what do you expect here? Do you expect Sebastian to have a good run?
Yeah, well, I'm certainly hoping for him to have a good run. Such a tight little track though, and we know how fierce the competition is here, so leftover mistake-free run. I'm sure if he's going to pick up a couple of wins tonight, pretty easy to make a little mistake around here. So yeah, it's going to be a tough race for everybody out there, I think.
We're just in the final part of qualifying here, a couple of minutes left. Adam, this field is so good that we're seeing guys, former title contenders, former champions, even outside the top 10. What's it going to take to win this? What's going to be a Royal Rumble almost around this track in 3 separate races?
Well, I think really you need to do a bit of touring car racing, a bit of nudging here and there, trying to get the car out of the way. That's really what you've got to do at this track, because there's not too many places to overtake and it's not very wide. So you've got the likes of Paddock Hill Bend where you can set the person in front up and then you can try and get the move done into Druids as the checkered flag is now out. Then you've got to work your way from Graham Hill Bend and then up onto Clearways. That is where the overtaking could happen, especially a bit of the exciting racing as well, where the car's trying to lunge down the inside. So checkered flag out at the moment. Let's run you through the top 10. Sebastian Joe is on pole position by around about 1/10 of a second over Wojciech Savidovic in second place. Stefan Hoog, he's in third place with Daniel Kraft in fourth. A good qualifying session from him. Ben Palmer is in 5th place with Jamie Rushworth in 6th. Andreas Katz, he's currently 2nd in the championship. He's in 7th. David Baker, the season 7th champion, is in 8th. And then Daniel Hunt is in 9th and Alex Smolensky in 10th.
Alex, there are 39 cars on the grid here today, and in the shortest track that we visit in the BSRTV Pro Series. Traffic's going to be an issue, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think, the race is a little bit longer. I think we're definitely going to see people coming up to big gaggles, having to try and lap those as well. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting dynamic out there, I think, because people are not going to want to give up places, because obviously it can move them back 2 or 3 spots. So it's going to be tough for the leaders, I think, sort of late on in this race when they're right in the middle of it.
Let's have a look at the championship standings then. After 6 races, Jamie Rushworth is atop the championship standings on 545 points, with Andreas Katz only 14 behind, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. The 2 of them are starting alongside each other in 6th and 7th here tonight. Then Wojciech Savidovic is in 3rd place in the championship with Stelian Czepalewski in 4th. Lee Thompson is in 5th place. He's starting 12th today, so you might want to make up a bit of ground in race 1, with Smolensky in 6th, Simon Field in 7th, Matt Walker in 8th, John Roberts in 9th and Stanimir Zuzov in 10th place.
Yes, indeed. A very, very strong field for this race. And
39 cars.
Going to be very, very, very good. Very interesting today. Well, Sebastian Joe, Wojciech Savidovic, Stefan Hoog. See Stefan Hoog back. I think he was involved last week as well at Road America. Adam, can you take us through who actually won the races last week? Those of us who weren't involved.
Road America race 1 was won by Wojciech Savidovic with Katz in 2nd and Czepalewski in 3rd. Moving on to race 2, Jamie Rushworth took the victory in that one with Sebastian Jobe in 2nd place and Richard Gore in 3rd. And then in race 3 we saw Andreas Katz take the victory with Stephen Burke in 2nd and Stefan Hoog in 3rd place. So great nights for all of the former champions in the series and the reigning champion Andreas Katz of Road America. Going to the grid, none of them are on the pole position though. Sebastian Jobe is at the front.
Yeah, a few obviously driver sort of swap arounds and things like that. I know, just obviously reference the Apex guys. We lost Clive Lawrence and Richard Gore steps in for him. So I think we're just looking at some slightly outdated overlay, so I'll just get that updated for the next race, so apologies for that, as it still shows Richard as Team OGR.
Moving into the team standings, GT Omega is at the top with Engineers Direct in second, Oculus 360 in third. Power Max has moved up a place after Road America. They are in fourth, with Team OGR in fifth. Volatile Element is in sixth place. I think that's the former Elite Martini team. Seventh place is Pete Newman Media with Laser Tools in eighth. Apex Racing TV, they're not having the best of season so far. They're currently sitting in ninth place. With Sebastian Job, their Apex Racing car in pole position, they'll be certainly hoping to leap up the order. And then rounding out the top 10, well, the 10 teams in the BSRTC Pro Series, it is Team Carnage, who, judging from their points total, Alex, they're 500 points behind Apex Racing TV. Have they had depleted entries at Phillip Island and Road America? They must have.
Yeah, I'm trying to think from Phillip Island. Actually, I think they were perhaps one car down only, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, if I remember rightly, a lot of them got caught up in instants. So just trying to rack my brains. A lot's gone on since then, so can't remember too well, unfortunately.
Well, 26 lap race is going to sort the men from the boys here. I think Apex Racing TV, especially, have had some driving issues and things like that, but hopefully that's all sorted out now and the season's going to continue as normal for them. Let's have a look. Ben Palmer, Alex, continues to prove himself, doesn't he? Top 5 position again. Yeah,
Ben been pretty strong advocate of his for a little while now in all the series that he takes part in. We always see him fighting up the top, and yeah, very quick driver, and I truly expect to see him, fighting at the top throughout the rest of this season, actually.
Okay, we are advancing to the next session. The race is only a minute or so away now. Well, I'm personally going to think Wojciech Savidovic because he's got the experience. I was talking to you earlier before we came on air, Andrew. He's my pick to win the race, but are you going to root for Sebastian Job?
Yeah, I'm not biased at all. I will definitely root for. I'll definitely root for Seb. Yes, but anything can happen. Adam, 26 laps around here. It is very difficult. It is very close quarters. If Seb does not get a good start, Alex, it could be terrible for him.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that in previous rounds. It's vitally important. Get off that line, get into the first couple of corners pretty comfortably, unchallenged, and as we've seen again in previous races here as well, if you are quick and just a little bit quicker than the others, you can pull away, and especially if there's a lot of squabbling behind. So he'll be hoping for a little bit of that those first couple of laps, give him a little bit of breathing room, I'm sure.
One man, Adam, who really showed up in that second part of qualifying was David Baker. He moved himself into the top 10 in 8th place.
Yeah, he was on the outside of the top 10 and nearly got knocked out in Q1 earlier, so it's good for him to be up inside the top 10 and mixing it with the former champions, the likes of Katz, Rushworth, and Savidovic. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. He's usually pretty consistent. He usually starts and finishes in the same position, so David Baker will have to do a bit of moving up through the pack, try and get past a few cars going into Druids Bend. And we were talking earlier before the race started, we've had quite a few full course cautions in this BSRTC Pro Series already, and I'm expecting more of the same to happen here today because it's very easy for the track to be blocked.
Yeah, especially coming out of Druids, maybe down that Graham Hill Bend area, on that straight down towards what would be Surtees. Alex, we were talking about Baker just now, though, and it's not going to be easy for him to move through, is it?
No, very difficult. Baker's driver who, he's very cautious, doesn't really force issues too much, so yeah, it's going to be tough for him, but I'm sure he'll work his way up at least a good portion of these spots.
We're going to find out very shortly what's going to happen. Round 7 of the Pro Series. Green light is on at Brands Hatch. And it's a good start from Sebastian Job from the front row. And that's Stefan Hoog in second place into Hadakil Bendy Savidovic. He's gone very sideways. He's under pressure from Daniel Kraft on his inside. And then just behind him, it looks like the Power Max car of Jamie Rushworth. Adam, it looks like everybody's made it through.
And a big loser from that start.
In fact, no, he has not happened. Sorry, James Leggett has spun. Heading into Paddock Hill, John Roberts has also come to grief. It looks like a couple of others, including Robert Plumley, are in trouble.
Yeah, the big loser from that start was Wojciech Savidovic as Katz and Palmer go side by side into Surtees. Katz wins that battle. He's up into 6th place as we head into clearways for the first time.
Look at Sebastian Job, Alex, World Championship driver. Flying away at the start, that's how you do it.
Yeah, I said he would want to get a breakaway as quickly as possible, and there's been a little bit of fighting behind him, and might have even been able to break the draft there. So he's going to be, if he's got that pace to hold, to throughout the stint, it's going to be difficult for the guys to get back up to him. But Kraft is no slouch for sure, and I'm sure he'll try and close that gap down as quickly as possible.
Adam, we've raced here at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. The key here is definitely consistent laps, because it doesn't take much for the opposition to catch you back up again.
Yes, indeed. We've seen quite a few cars close in on each other in the final few stages of the race, especially if tyre wear becomes a mitigating factor. Cat still can't shake off Ben Palmer as we're heading through Surtees and into clearways. Let's run you through our top 10 at the end of the first lap, and coming around to complete that number 2, Sebastian Joe 1.2 seconds ahead of Daniel Kraft, Stefan Hugen 3rd, Wojciech Savidovic in 4th, who looks like he's pressuring Stefan Hugen as we come across the line. In 5th is Rushworth, 6th Cat, 7th Palmer, 8th Hunt, 9th Baker, and in 10th it's Steve Walker. So David Baker, we were talking just before the start of the race, Andrew, about him having to make up a few positions. He's already lost one.
Going to be traffic for the leader as well. Barely soon as you've got Steve Heff and John Roberts heading down towards Surtees, and Sebastian Jupp already out of Graham Hill Bend, so that traffic will come into play quicker than we expected, Alex, because of the accident.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be tough actually. I think he's going to need to get to that traffic very, very quickly if he's going to avoid getting caught up. Still 1.5 second gap up front right now.
We've seen the season, Adam, at the start of the races, a bit of the status quo going on between most of these guys at the front who are former race winners and champions and not really wanting to put too much on the line. I think it's a sensible approach, as Rushworth defending the inside from Andreas Katz. Adam, Katz surely has to make forward progress quickly here.
Yes, indeed, and in front of them we've got people that aren't usually at the top of the standings, apart from Wojciech Savidovic. So Jamie Rushworth and Andreas Katz, this is the battle really for the championship lead at the moment. Only 14 points separating them going into this race meeting. Andreas Katz with the number 1 on his car, he won the previous season. Jamie Rushworth, he won season 4 and has come close on occasions to winning more championships, and Rushworth will be eager to win this BSRTC Pro Series. Going into clearways, Katz was too far away to make a move there, but he is looking feisty, and he seems to have a good setup on him down the straight. He seems to close in on the slipstream, as is Stefan Hug. He's now side by side with Daniel Kraft as we head into Paddock Hill Bend.
Who trying the brave one round the outside of that steeply plunging downhill corner. Hug, Swiss driver, trying to size up Daniel Kraft into Druids. Look at this train, Alex, of cars. It's like a caterpillar out there. They're all just snaking their way around.
Yeah, looks like Kraft's actually holding these guys up now. It definitely seems to be falling further back from Seb up front, so looks like Hug wants to get past as quickly as he possibly can if he's going to have any chance at getting back up towards Seb.
Seb's not quite catching the traffic yet. There's about 6 or 8 seconds between him and John Roberts, so in fact might not get there for quite a while yet. There's Kraft in 2nd place, still under a lot of pressure from Stefan Hug. Wojciech Savidovic with his car over the curb at Paddock Hill and 2 wheels in the gravel. Adam, that's not going to hurt you too much, is it?
No, just 2 wheels into the gravel, that definitely does not slow you down at all. It's practically the normal touring car line going through Paddock Hill Bend as we head in towards Graham Hill Bend, and Savidovic has Hug runs wide, and Savidovic has to get on the brakes, and that's going to bunch the pack up completely. Jamie Rushworth and Andreas Katz joining the party as well, and Savidovic is out wide. Will Rushworth try and go around the outside into clearways? No, he doesn't, but they're still side by side. Rushworth's going to be hung out to dry here. I think Andreas Katz senses an opportunity to get the position as we head down the front straight.
That was almost reminiscent, Alex, of that season 6 accident between Savidovic and Hug that put Hug out of the title race. Nearly the same thing happened again. It's so easy to do down there. As diving to the inside was Andreas Katz, but he's got all sorts of trouble coming through Paddock Hill Bend. He's got Daniel Hunt, Ben Palmer. They're side by side, bashing panels through Druids down towards Graham Hill Bend, and good driving from Daniel Hunt, Alex, who we saw win the pre-season race and the first race of this season 9.
Yeah, Hunt, very strong driver. He managed to find his way through there. It looked like Palmer was going to get a run on Katz. Katz was a little bit slow through the first turn there, but in the end had to check up and Hunt saw the opportunity to go around the outside and made it stick. Great driving.
David Baker's lost a position, Adam, off the line. That's not what he needed. Well, not what we were talking about before the green light came on.
Yeah, he started in 8th, but now he's down to 9th place. We were saying at the end of that one that he needed to get some places, and obviously he hasn't done that. Still in 9th place. Through Druids Bend, 19 laps still to go here, and Stefan Hug is having to regain his composure whilst this main train's going on. We've got a fantastic queue forming behind. I think it's Daniel Hunt. They're right with each other now as they head through.
Palmer was still attacking him, Adam, into Druids. Daniel Hunt starting to hold Baker and Palmer up now, I think.
Yeah, going through clearways then. Let's even get a good run. Daniel Hunt hogging the inside line there as we head down the straight, and that means that Ben Palmer will have to go to the outside. Daniel Hunt still holding the inside line, and Ben Palmer will have to go to the outside then. Let's see if he can get the switchback done through Paddock Hill Bend and into clear. Oh, gives him a bit of a nudge there. He couldn't really get the cut back to work. Into Druids Bend, he's not that late on the brakes, and now he's having to fend off David Baker. But Ben Palmer, he's trying to get past Daniel Hunt. He just can't seem to get it done.
Simon Field as well, in close battle with Russell Laidler and Smolinski at the moment. Those guys were almost 3 wide going into the hairpin there.
All side by side further up the pack, and it's Stefan Hug and Jamie Rushworth battling, and it's now Savidovic who's managed to... Oh, contact!
There's a bit of...
Yeah, between Rushworth and Hug, and Savidovic has managed to get past both of them, and now he's trying to pressure Daniel Kraft as they come over the front straight.
That's an old battle, isn't it? Adam, Hug and Rushworth, they've traded some paint over the seasons, and that's allowed Andreas Katz to get past his teammate. So Stefan Hug standing in for Kevin Noon today and doing his best job that he can, but sliding down the order slightly, so Hug will have to recover. Baker having a little look. There's all sorts going on. You know it's bad, Alex, when the likes of Field and Thompson and Newman are all battling over 15th place.
Yeah, I mean they're right on this pack, and they can see second place just up the road, but they just can't get anywhere. So yeah, great. It's great racing from everybody out there. Just goes to show again. We go on about it, but the strength and depth in the field, and there's been no incidents today in this race so far. It's been great to see, and it just goes to show actually it's going to be very difficult for anyone to make move. Although I'm looking at Pete Newman Media trying to make a move. That's Simon Field up the inside of Smolinski into one. Oh,
it gives him the room though, Smolinski. Yeah, but maybe too much because that's gravel. Has he gone? Field gone.
Smolinski's off.
Smolinski's into the fence.
And that's big damage onto his car. And
I hope he comes back. Oh no!
And he hits one of the Apex cars, I think.
I don't think he hit anyone, but
I'm not sure what happened there because Field's just gone. Whether he got a disqualification or something, I didn't see. I didn't see them make any contact. So
I'm not sure Field has hit anyone, but Sebastian.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Maybe that was just a disconnect or something like that. Bit of an error. So.
In the same week that another very famous Sebastian won the Malaysian Grand Prix, a young man called Sebastian Job, 3.333 seconds ahead of Daniel Kraft. Alex, as the team manager and a good judge of talent yourself, what is it about Seb that makes him special, and why is he beating this field up?
Yeah, I can't really put my finger on it. He's pretty much all-round quality driver. So I think I've said this before. Give it 2 or 3 years, and you'll see him fighting Gregor for the World Championship. He's that good.
Battle for second unfolding. Daniel Kraft versus Wojciech Savidovic, and now he's got Jamie Rushworth for company and Andreas Katz. Katz still hasn't been able to get past Jamie Rushworth as they come across the line. Daniel Kraft is putting a resolute defence up as we head in towards Paddock Hill Bend. He better be careful because Rushworth's right there, and he nearly goes into the back of the Engine North Direct car as we head in towards Druids Bend. Will Rushworth have a look down the inside? No, he doesn't. Katz is just trying to find a way through here. He's got a whole lot of cars in front of him.
Hunt's gone wide. That's allowed Palmer to get through. I think Hunt was attacking Who, missed his braking point. And Ben Palmer sneaks through there for Engine All Direct. Still ahead of Baker, who still can't get out of 9th place. Alex, just how old is Seb? How old is he nowadays?
He's just had a birthday, so I think he's 15 now. Maybe
That's
he can confirm that on the Facebook group later. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 15. So
that is ridiculous. I do want to give one shout out though. We've given him a hard time over the few weeks in private, but Martin Brandon has come in, done a full week of practice, and he's now running ahead of Ben Hackerson and Gordon Wilson in that Team Carnage car, Alex. It shows that practice pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, doing a great job out there right now. sitting P30, but sticking right with the guys around him. He's under a little bit of pressure, actually just loses a place there to Atkinson, gets it back, he's up the inside, so he's having a good battle out there today.
Good to see. It really is good though, isn't it, when you struggle away with the car for a while and then you know, it comes to you finally, and then that's when it starts to click, and it's only upwards from there. He's got the place back again, Alex, down into Paddock Hill Bend actually. So Martin, good to see him having a good scrap with Atkinson and Wilson. So back at second place battle, he's raging away.
It's Paddock Hill Bend, and lap times last time around, Daniel Kraft 47.1 and Savidovic did a 47.1 as well, and I think that's really to be expected as they're that close to each other. Into Druids Bend, Kraft still holding the inside line. Savidovic, I think, will have to eventually give him a bit of a nudge. I think that's the only way he's going to be able to get past Jamie Rushworth. He drops back a lap ago, and I thought Savidovic was going to have a go then, but he still remains in third place. And Alex, I don't know whether you race on this track often, but it's hard to overtake here, isn't it? Oh, and Savidovic, there you go, he gives him the nudge.
That's the old Matt Neal there.
Oh, there's a couple there, a couple little nudges as well. First one not quite good enough, and neither was the second. Dan Kraft just placed his car perfectly where he needed to, so it was a square on nudge, and he was able to control the extra pace there. But
Running
it's
outside.
very slow.
Surely that won't work.
It's
And
not going to, because he's got no track
Rushworth's
there.
going to capitalise brilliantly here.
And look at the two Oculus cars having to dance out of trouble. And there's no dancing out of trouble there for Rushworth. Although he's got in front of this group now.
Yeah, that was all Savidovic's making there. He ran into the back of Rushworth, and it forced Rushworth through into second place. So I don't know whether Rushworth will be thanking him for that. And is that Ben Palmer trying to get past Hoog as well? So it's all unfolding.
It was an internet problem for Simon Field, Adam. So that it wasn't a disqualification. He did have problems with the connection. So unfortunate for him, he was running still pretty well inside the top 15.
Sorry, traffic on the racetrack there. Everyone's going to have to manoeuvre their way around it. Is this going to be the opening of the floodgates? Will Savidovic now try and get past Daniel Kraft in towards Paddock Hill Bend?
But again, it's not going to. Same thing's going to happen again. It's going to get shoved out onto the gravel. It's going to be on the outside for Druids, and Alex, really, there's nowhere through when that happens.
No, your only real chance is to get the cut back and in, so you've got the inside line.
Oh, hit like that.
Look.
Oh, yeah, good bravery from Kraft. But Kraft now needs to focus, Alex, on the car of Jamie Rushworth, doesn't he? He doesn't need to be looking behind.
Oh, sorry, Andrew, go on.
No, it's fine. But he needs to look forward, and maybe that will stop some of the slide.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's easier said than done side by side though, Savidovic and Katz. So Katz wants to pick up that P4 if he can. Just 9 laps to go.
You can see Jamie Rushworth disappearing as well, and that means his championship lead is going to be decreasing. He wants to get past Savidovic, and they hit each other, and Hoog will be able to get through surely as well. Yes, so Savidovic from 4th to 6th in a matter of seconds, and Ben Palmer trying to get past as well.
He has to evade that, Adam. He nearly ran into the back of Savidovic. Not his fault, of course, but look at that pack behind them as well. Battling for the lower half of the reverse grid slots. Chepelevsky, Hunt, Lee Thompson, Walker, Laidler, Laura Bond and Pete Newman. That's the top 15. So Newman is eligible, isn't he, for the reverse grid, Alex?
Yeah, remember it goes all the way down to 26, so Gianowski still eligible as well. So yeah, Pete Newman all the way down to Gianowski right now. So yeah, can you imagine if Pete gets pole position? That should be a pretty good starting position for him.
Let's have a look at a couple of people who've moved up through the ranks. Andreas Katz started, Rushworth started 6th, he's up 2nd. Katz started 7th, he's now 4th. Chepelevsky 13th to 9th, and then Laura Bond 19th to 14th. They're the big movers, Alan.
Yeah, look, I have to say it's been difficult for people out there today. This huge pack that we just looking at now.
Penalty for Simon Field back on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that the huge pack has been very difficult for anyone to make moves. So there's been a few people getting there, but it just seems to be everybody's capitalising on just little mistakes that people make out there at the moment. Just odd little place here and there is being exchanged, but that's about it.
I'm going to say Sebastian Jobs got the lead up to 7 seconds. Without any disrespect to any of the other drivers out on the field, is this the difference, Alex, between the black stripe driver and everyone else?
No, I don't think so, if I'm entirely honest.
You think it's just him?
No, I think really what's happened, I mean, those guys have been fighting behind, and that's let Seb just focus on his own driving and just pull away. That first lap was what he needed. He needed that draft to break that draft. He has done, and then of course everybody else has just been behind. They've just been battling, so that's what's really cost most of the time. When you look at the lap times when they're in clear air, there's not a great deal of difference between them. There was only a couple of tenths this time. Let's wait for Jamie to cross the start-finish line as well.
Jamie was actually quicker that time.
Jamie was actually quicker. So like I say, it's more just those guys battling, and we've seen this in previous races as well, where the pack just forms up a huge battle, and just trying to think, it was in Suzuka where Jamie won, and we were just back concentrating on the third place battle, and it was like 15 seconds up the road. So,
that's true.
Yeah, much the same, I think.
Wojciech Savidovic, he qualified
he's gone wide, Savidovic. He's going to lose 1, maybe 2 spots there. So that's Palmer and not quite to Baker, Adam.
Goes from bad to worse for him, really, because he started second on the grid, and now he's down to seventh place. So I thought he could hold a candle to Sebastian Joe. He's just been falling backwards and backwards throughout the race. As we now come over the timing line once again, Andreas Katz right with Daniel Kraft. It's taken him a few laps to close in on him. So many battles unfolding here in the top 10 as Kraft still holds off to the inside line through Paddock Hill Bend, and I think Katz once again is too far away to get the move done. We're into the final 5 laps of the race, so I think eventually Push is going to have to come to shove, really, Andrew.
Keep an eye on this Palmer, Savidovic, Baker, Chepleski battle as well.
Yeah, sorry guys to cut in. Good battle between Dan Hunt and Lee Thompson as well there, side by side going to Graham Hill Bend right now.
And they've got a lapped car as well. Who's that off? I thought it was Rushworth for a second.
No, it's his teammate.
Power Max Sim racing car of Von Glan, was it? I think it was. Eckhart Von Glan struggling out there.
Back in the pack for third place over the timing. Once again, they're now side by side. Katz to the outside. Will he get the move done? He's too far away. Will he try and get the cut back through Paddock Hill Bend and get it moved done into Druids? Kraft is having to go to the inside line. Surely Katz can't get it done around the outside. Savidovic attempted it a lap ago, and Rushworth's going slowly all of a sudden, because it means that Kraft is now side by side with him into Graham Hill Bend. He hits him, and Kraft's through. Unbelievable.
What's happened to Jamie?
I don't know. Surely he's not got. I don't know what's happened to Rushworth, but all of a sudden he's slowed going through Druids, and now Katz senses an opportunity, Andrew, into clear ways. Rushworth on the inside, Katz trying to get past, and now we've got the 2 championship leaders, first and second in the championship, Rushworth and Katz going at it.
Yeah, and this is going to be a great battle all season long. We think Chepelevsky's got ahead of Baker for 8th, so Stallion continuing his move through. That's 5 places again, as now look, Rushworth maintaining that around the outside of Katz, and Hoog's still there. He's not giving up. Savidovic he's getting dropped, isn't he? Alex, have his tyres gone on?
Yeah, he seems to be struggling out there as well, and I just think Katz will be super eager to pick up the podium place. Remember, the point system, the podium places really count at the end of the season when we switch into like the final run-in, so that's pivotal for Katz to try and get in front of Jamie. So Jamie's going to be holding on for everything he can. So great move from Kraft to get himself a little bit of safety there. So
well, exactly like the NASCAR chase, isn't it, Alex? You get points for wins, you get extra points for top 3s.
Yeah, exactly that. That follows them into the final stage of this championship. So, for the driver's point of view, it's a lot different than the team points championship, of course. So, yeah, as it looks like we've got Katz trying to go around the outside of Rushworth. Is he going to have the inside line? He's going to try and do it. It's going to be late on the brakes.
He's through.
Make that move.
Great move there by Andreas Katz. He set him up all the way back in Paddock Hill Bend.
It's not done yet.
Rushworth going to try and go around the outside. Has he got enough tyre life left? And they're still side by side. Down the inside. Go on, Jamie. Down the inside. And they're still side by side.
Somebody's gone off as well.
Bit of gravel kicks up, and it's not Joe because he's 9.7 seconds ahead. It's traffic.
Might have been a Laser Tools car that went all the way around the outside of one of the corners. I think it was Wilson, who's down in 31st.
Oh, here we go. Here comes Katz, and they're going to close on this traffic.
Oh, it's Savidovic.
Round the outside of Stefan Hoog in towards Druids Bend,
the lap car trying his best to get out of the way.
Does a good job, and Savidovic is through. Fantastic by Savidovic. We were counting him out a lap ago. Here comes Katz. Oh, he just can't get alongside Rushworth. Will he ever go in towards 30s? No, he can't.
Hoog's still side by side.
John coming across the start-finish line though to take the victory here.
Well
Race
done,
6.
Seb. Well done, young man. Daniel
Great job.
Craft, P2. And I tell you what, Pete Newman Media are going to welcome that one. They haven't had a great start to the season, but Daniel Craft takes second. Jamie Rushworth gets third. Fourth for Katz, and then Hoog in fifth. Sixth for Savinovic. Seventh Palmer. Eighth Chepelevsky. And then Baker in ninth. Didn't really go anywhere. Thompson 10th. Good from him. Dan Hunt 11th. Good promise early, but he faded a bit. Steve Walker in 12th. Good from him. Russell Laidler 13th. Laura Bond 14th. Pete Newman 15th. And then Pete Newman starts the reverse grid. So Alex, the dice is going to be rolled soon. And you're going to have Pete Newman, Matt Walker, Ellie Stevens, Tim Mawson, Richard Gore, Jay Wright, Stephen Burke, Steve Richardson, Andrew Whitehead, Stanimir Zuzov, and Robert Graham, and actually Yulia Janowski are going to all be in the hat for that one.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see who's going to come out of that one. We'll get that up on screen in just a second, just waiting for everybody to finish up. So I think everybody is now across the start-finish line as well. So Paul Smith, last of the drivers, I think, to remain on the lead lap in 28th place, so just outside the reverse grid order, unfortunately for him.
Our commentary colleague starting at the back there, Paul Smith, finishing 28th. I think he might have started from the pit lane, Alex, actually, thinking about it. About where he ended up, but I'm sure he'll be back for the next race. Everyone scored points apart from Field and Hefford, Alex, so good finish there.
Yeah, so unfortunate for Field, really. He was in a good, strong position, and then just disconnects and little technical glitches are the worst. But yeah.
But he gained a couple of extra points though from coming back on. Although he didn't actually.
No, he's still 6
Some extra places though. You never know.
Yeah. Right, let's bring the magic dice up and see who's going to get the pole position. Let's do our usual 3 rolls.
Adam, who's your money on for pole?
It seems to favour the high numbers, this one. Right, here we go.
In that case,
then.
it might go Zuzov then.
Right, and
Zuzov.
it is 23.
Oh,
close. Andrew Whitehead goes on to pole position. He finished in 23rd place, and alongside him on the front row will be Steve Richardson, Stephen Burke in 3rd, Jay Wright in 4th, and Richard Gore in 5th. And I tell you what, Andrew, that puts the likes of Joe Craft and Rushworth there right back in the pack now.
Yes, and that's what we talked about at Phillip Island, Alex, isn't it? That you could win race 1 and find yourself potentially in 26th. Sebastian Job's going to find himself in 23rd place. And that's going to be a tall order here, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. No matter how quick you are, I think the mindset changes now for drivers, like him, Kraft, Rushworth, Katz. They've got to be super careful those first 5 or 6 laps, because that's where mayhem can happen on these reverse grids, and they just need to make sure that they avoid all of that. And
but it is fair to them, isn't it? Because even if Seb or Daniel Craft finishes about 14th, 15th, they're still going to be in a good position for race 3. So that's going to even that out, isn't it, for them?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the beauty of the championship. Actually, with the reverse grid, is it does spice it up, and just because you don't do all that great in the first race and things like that, you can come back and be in a relatively good position. And there's drivers a bit further down that they just need to have sort of good, consistent races, and they can be at the end, score good points overall. So. Again, it's just all important for the drivers, sort of, that maybe starting just behind, like or just in front of the leaders, is that they work their way through the traffic quickly as well. And if they do, then they've got a chance for a good, strong finish. I mean, we've seen that with, you think of, Robert Plumley last season. He managed to get a couple of victories, and it wasn't just all courtesy of the reverse grid. He had to drive really well and not make any mistakes, and he made it almost impossible for the fast guys to catch him by the time they'd got through the pack. So,
that's right.
This is what some of these guys are going to have to do in this race coming up.
Well, that's right. And Adam, Andrew Whitehead won at Summit Point, didn't he? So he's no stranger to the champagne himself.
Yeah, he's been a valuable member of the BRSTC for the past few seasons now, and he managed to take a victory at Summit Point last season, and it was great for him to see him back on the top side of the podium for his first ever win. Could he do it in race 2 though? Because in all fairness, he's got
Maybe.
unknowns around him as Steve Richardson. I don't know whether he's won the BSRTC before. I'll have to look at my stats during the break. And Jay Wright as well. So quite a few unknowns, and you have to go back to quite up there before we find the likes of Pete Newman and then Russell Layla, and then after that you get the former champions Baker and Chepelewski. So they're going to have to work their way through the pack, and as we saw in race 1 just now, it is very hard to overtake. In fact, once you lose a place, it's very hard for you to get it back.
Well, we mentioned Alex as well, with the first earlier on, how tough it is in that midfield, and even guys like, Stephen Burke starting 25th, didn't really go anywhere, 21st. Tim Mawson 20th, 18th, Ellis 21st to 17th. Those guys struggled in there. It's tight, isn't it? There was only 5 seconds between P2 and P15.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be so difficult, and this is why I said really people were just being patient in there and making moves when people made mistakes. I mean, Baker really didn't have much opportunity to get past anybody. Those guys weren't making any mistakes further up. There was a few drivers that dropped down, and I saw like Lee Thompson was sitting in 15th at the start of the race. Obviously, he's worked up 5 places, so great. Laura Bond was a couple places behind him at one point, 17th place, moved her way up as well. So, those drivers were sensible in the pack, didn't make any mistakes, and just pounced when people did run a little wide here or there, or tried something themselves on the car ahead, and sort of capitalised on it. So I think that's what some of the leaders are going to have to do, because actually this field, when you consider how close they are together, is not going to be easy to overtake at all.
Got to use a bit of muscle. Adam, really, the only casualty, apart from Simon Field in that first round, was Alexander Smolenski, wasn't it?
Yeah, Smolenski was a bit unfortunate in that wreck. I think he just got turned around after Ricard tried to turn in on him, and then
and probably was a little shocked that Field disappeared, maybe, as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, only Fields and Heffer, those cars finished 6 and 11 laps down. Everyone else finished either 1 lap down or on the lead lap. So great to see from the 39 car entry that we've got for this race. 39 cars on the Brands Hatch Indy circuit is a bit of a traffic jam.
And technically only 1 retirement, Adam, because Field finished the race.
Yeah, so great to see the standard is so high this time around in the BSRTC Pro Series. A lot of money on the line as well. And race 2 and race 3 coming up soon as well. So can't wait for that to get started.
No, indeed. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us here. We're not going anywhere. Remember, 1 broadcast per night this year on YouTube. So join us again from Brands Hatch for round 8. We'll be back very soon.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
And we're back here on BSR TV. Thanks for sticking with us, everyone who's watching on YouTube. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, Alex Simpson with you for round 8 of the season of the Engine All Direct Pro Series. And Adam, we have overcast conditions here, which could make the first lap very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah, overcast plus 39 cars on the grid definitely equals action.
Plus
and
the
plenty
reverse
of it.
grid. Sorry.
Yeah, the
Just
reverse
to make
grid.
it easier.
Well, I haven't got my reverse grid sheet with me, so, unless they've managed to do it.
First place was Andrew Whitehead. Yeah.
Yes, Andrew Whitehead. There we
Joined
go.
by
Got it up. Get it up.
Steve
Got it up.
Richardson.
Yeah, Andrew Whitehead on the pole position with Steve Richardson alongside him, Stephen Burke in 3rd, Jay Wright in 4th, Richard Gore is in 5th place with Tim Mawson in 6th, Ellis Stevens in 7th with Matt Walker in 8th, Pete Newman in 9th and Laura Bond in 10th. 11th, Russell Layler, it is Steve Walker in 12th, Daniel Hunt in 13th, Lee Thompson in 14th, then 15th, David Baker, 16th, Stelian Czepolewski, 17th, Ben Palmer, 18th, Wojciech Sabidovic after starting 2nd in race 1. He ended up finishing in 6th. Then 19th, Stefan Hoog, 20th, Andreas Katz, 21st, Jamie Rushworth, 22nd, Daniel Kraft, and then 23rd, our race 1 winner, Sebastian Jobe. He is all the way back in the pack with these overcast conditions. Oh, it's going to take a miracle for him to work his way through without getting a bit of contact. Then, moving into 24th place, we've got Stanimir Zuzov, 25th, Robert Graham, 26th, Julian Janowski with Benjamin Hackerson in 27th, Paul Smith in 28th, Scott Malcolm in 29th, 30th, Robert Plumley, and then let's round out the rest of the field. For you, 31st is Alex Smolensky after sustaining a bit of damage in race 1. It's 32nd, Gordon Wilson, 33rd, Martin Brandon, 34th, Colin Steele, 35th, Eckhart von Glan, 36th, John Roberts, 37th, James Leggett, and then our 2 retirees, really 38th, Simon Field, and in 39th, Steve Hefford. So those are the 39 cars that will start race 2, and we were hedging our bets before the broadcast started, Andrew, about how many cars will not make it through this first lap, especially in these overcast conditions.
You're not supposed to tell them.
Yeah, because the commentator, in race 1 I said Wojciech Sabidovic would take it to Sebastian Jobe. He ended up finishing lower than when he started, so...
You're back. Yeah, Alex, 39 cars will start. How many are going to finish is another matter, isn't it?
Well, yeah, certainly. I think, these overcast conditions, we've seen it in the past. It's, those first few laps very, very tricky for the drivers. So I dare say we're going to see something in the first couple of laps. Maybe a safety car, who knows? Let's just hope and pray that we don't see anyone, terminally taken out of it. So as we often do.
One thing we will have to notice as well, though, is with it being overcast conditions, the cars are slightly quicker, Alex. So they'll be about a third of a second faster here per lap, and that might mean a couple of setup changes for the drivers.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Actually, you're right. The car is quicker once the pressures have built up. So yeah, we'll just have to to see if people can survive those first few laps.
Well, as there's a car embedded in the fence, Wojciech Sabidovic stuck in the barrier. I think that bodes very well. All I see is smoke, Adam, and dust and gravel and death and horrible mangled machinery.
Could this be the calm before the storm, really, Andrew? We've got 20 seconds before the start of the race. Andrew White drives Engine All Direct, who sponsor this series after all, so they'll be hoping for a good result. And championship standings, we haven't got them updated for after race 1, but let's just remind you of them anyway. Andreas Katz second in the championship with Jamie Rushworth on top. 14 points separated them going into race 1. I think it's going to be a bit closer than that after Jamie Rushworth finished in front of him. We've got the checkered flag now in the warm-up. Wojciech Sabidovic in 3rd, Stelian Czepolewski in 4th, Lee Thompson in 5th, Smolensky 6th, Simon Field 7th, Matt Walker in 8th, John Roberts in 9th, and Stanimir Zuzov in 10th. So not too many changes I don't think will have unfolded in race 1. In the championship standings. However, I'm sure Sebastian Jobe will have leaped up the standings following his win. We're going down to the grid now.
He did miss Phillip Island, Adam, of course, which will mean that his points total will be quite low. Had computer issues there. There was more mangled metal in that practice session than in an entire series of Robot Wars. Are they going to make it to the end here?
Yeah, I think the drivers are having a little bit of fun out there. Trying to get it out of their systems, I'm sure.
That's probably the second commentator's curse of the day. Andrew Whitehead in that purple and white engine oil direct car on the front. We do have a bit of fun with this, but this is serious. We are fighting for a share of $10,000. Andrew Whitehead, Steve Richardson, two veterans on the front row, veterans of the series. Stephen Burke, Jay Wright. Can you see anybody winning from outside the top 10, Adam?
No. And here we go.
Straight and to the point. We like it. The revs are rising here. The green light is on. And it did look like Whitehead got a very good start, but he's managed to maintain it. Maintain the lead into paddock. Let's see.
They're all off, practically.
Oh, no, hello. Up and over goes Jay Wright. He's okay. There's only two cars off. The other one is Laura Bond, I believe. Oh, at the back, big crash at the back. Another Oculus car, another Power Max car. Hefford's involved. And Von Glan. Everyone else has made it through.
All the cars at the front sliding their way around. They're just tippy-toeing now as we head through Surtees and in towards Clearways. Andrew Whitehead, continues to lead. His car is all over the place. And who's that in second place in the Pete Newman Media car? Second place. Stephen Burke. So, yeah, the two of those battling as we come across the line for the first time. Steve Richardson in the Power Max car is keeping a watchful eye. Let's see if the tyre temperatures have improved as we head in towards Paddock Hill. They're still sliding around, but good first lap by Whitehead and Burke. They're still at the top of the standings at the moment.
Well, neither of us won the bet, really. Alex, only I don't think anyone. I think two cars have ended up on pit road. Spinning there is
Ellison with Tim Mawson, I think it was. So
bad start for Power Max, but also for Oculus 360. A couple of cars crashing there, but I think one of the Power Max cars only spun, so might have got away with it. Tim Mawson, you mentioned him, he's P5 at the moment, and look at that pack backing up behind Stevens. Stevens' little half spin has just kind of pushed him back into the clutches now of
I hear someone going on up front. Is that Whitehead? Whitehead off?
Oh, Whitehead's round.
Yeah, big way.
And someone else as well.
Let's have a little look at that back on the replay, because
and Von Glan. Von Glan's getting lapped, and that's got the big one. And over goes another Gleam racing car into the wall.
I'll have a little look at that back in a moment. I'm just having a little replay on screen now with what was going on with Andrew Whitehead. It looks like he's going to get a little nudge from the Pete Newman Media car. He does.
Yeah, Stephen Burke.
Sends him spinning into the wall. Burke goes off into the gravel as well. Loses a couple of places too.
Well, Burke's gone all the way back now. So it's Richardson leads, I think. But we're going to see now.
Yes, he does.
Steve Richardson in the lead then.
Second place is Richard Gore. My timing screen's finally updated itself. And who's that going down the inside? Is that Pete Newman?
Pete Newman, yep. Richard Gore, the new driver for Apex Racing TV. Just recruited this week to replace Clive Lawrence. But Pete Newman now looks like he's in a good position. Likewise, Tim Mawson, Alex.
Yeah, these guys got through the start really. They were quite high up there, and you could see them being very careful in those first few laps actually, and it's paid off for them. They're in a really good position right now. Although you have got Hoog, Rushworth, and Dan Hunt all tucked up behind Ellis Stevens right now. If they get past him, I don't think they've got enough of a gap to be able to defend from that. Someone's going through the gravel in the background there as well.
Not going to be massively easy though, Adam, to get past Ellis Stevens. He won 2 races last season.
Yeah, and
having said that, it's all right.
Three wide through the hairpin there. Oh, he's so tightly compacted in there right now.
Is that the front guys?
No, that's from about 10th through to 25th. Yeah. I don't know. There's so many cars.
Rushworth joining in the act as well. Who's that? Is that Stevens, Hoog, and Rushworth?
Oh yeah, I see it.
And Hoog is through. So Rushworth in 8th place out of the 10 cars out of the cars that started in the top 10. We've only got 6 of them left, I think. So.
Oh dear.
So 4 of them have gone astray in the first few laps. And it's Steve Richardson that continues to lead as they come across the line. As I try and focus on him,
Richard Gore having a look.
And Richardson's gone wide.
A bit wide, but he took a high line. Alex, somewhat similar to a banked oval. He used the hill there.
Yeah, I was still a little bit delayed there, just realised and caught myself back up, just caught the end of that. Pete Newman still having a little look as well. Pete Newman Media are in a strong position here in 3rd and 4th place right now. Power Max actually coming through as well, so... Oh no, sorry, that's the Oculus cars coming through in the background. So
Power Max leading the race with Richardson.
Yep.
Alex, what this is doing though, Richardson leading, it is bringing that little group of Hoog, Stevens, Rushworth and Hunt back towards this lead pack.
yeah, absolutely. I think we thought maybe those top guys wouldn't be able to work their way through, but they've definitely got an opportunity now. No breakaways up front.
Newman's
that's Pete
through.
Newman Media. Sorry, Pete Newman himself.
Pete Newman driving Pete Newman Media up into 2nd place, and is that Burke muscling his way through past Richard Gore, and Gore trying to force the way back through in towards Graham Hill Bend. Is he through? And he's through. So Stephen Burke into 3rd place, and now who's that in the other Apex car trying to get past?
Mawson there, and yeah, it was a good job from Gore. I think Gore would be wise to let Mawson through and let his teammate go on and fight the Pete Newman Media cars. As well, definitely going to have a fight on their hands from Hoog and Rushworth, Alex.
Yep, just block the track. That's what they're doing right now. There's no way through then.
Although Hoog will probably try and find a way.
Through Paddock Hill Bend, and Pete Newman last time around was 4/10 of a second quicker.
Between Mawson and Hoog, and Rushworth tucked up behind into Druids can't quite get a run as Mawson trying a long way around. He's lost 2 positions there. Packed behind them is Stevens, Hunt, Steve Walker, Savinovic. Baker's just got through on Laidler, and Thompson's actually got through on Laidler as well. And then it's Job and Kraft. So that's an all-star pack fighting for 10th place.
Yeah, crazy strong horse there, and Job just having a little look on the inside of Laidler. Is he going to be able to get a run onto the start-finish line?
Yes, he has.
Back.
Dave Richardson's got a bit of a gap on Newman. Well, he had it, but Newman much quicker into Paddock Hill, but Richardson got a better exit, so he's going to maintain his lead, and this is a good 7 or 8 laps now, Adam, that Richardson's led. It's going to take something for Newman to get through, isn't it?
Yeah, but I do think it might be a matter of time.
Ooh.
Newman's right with him. Last time around, Richardson 47.5 for Newman, so he was 3/10 of a second slower. And Stephen Burke, his teammate, is joining in as well. He better be careful, because we do not want 2 Pete Newman Media cars in the fence somewhere, in towards clearways. And Pete Newman just not close enough once again, but he's surely will get a good run on the exit. I think he has, Andrew, and he'll be able to use the slipstream to close upon the Power Max car. Over the line they go.
I don't think he's close enough, but
He is.
he might try.
He is.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not.
Not quite.
Through Paddock Hill Bend, and yeah, not close enough this time. Of course, he got it because he was alongside.
Oh, Richardson had to move late to the inside there, Alex. That was squeaky bum time for him.
Yeah, managed to hold it off, and it looked like there was a little bit of it looked like there was a little bit of bashing going on as well between Hoog and Burke there as well, and they remain as they are. Gord's close back in as well. He's got Rushworth right behind him, Tim Mawson, Ellis Stevens, Dan Hunt, Steve Walker is the top 10. They're covered by 2 seconds.
That's unbelievable.
The fact Gore and Mawson and Rushworth were knocking spots off each other in that last lap. There is a bit of traffic for Richardson coming up soon. Newman's going to try the outside line. Probably won't be. Yeah, it's not really going to be that successful. Richardson perfectly. Back his car on the apron. He needs to come to the inside now.
Too late,
He's
Richardson.
going to
Too
lose that
late.
position.
And
You've got to be more
big crash.
decisive than that. Burke's round.
Burke and Hoog hit each
Richardson's
other.
on the outside of Newman. Richardson's going to stay in the lead here.
Fantastic, down the
This
inside.
down the inside of Graham Hill, but wide goes Newman. But he's back on and they nearly hit each other. Burke and there's a Rushworth off, I think, is it?
As well,
Was
yeah.
it Stephen
there
Hoog?
was a bit of an
Stephen Hoog
incident.
that's off.
Well, we got Richard Gore down to 8th place, and Pete Newman taking the lead. Jamie Rushworth down to 9th. I don't know who's in 3rd now.
Baker lost it coming into clearways, and that's going to allow one of the Apex Racing TV cars, Sebastian Job, to try and go around the outside. On the way down, they're 3 wide nearly on the main straight between Savinovic and Rushworth and Walker. And now it's all Adam, sorry to interrupt, it's now all kicking off now that Richardson's been overtaken by Newman.
Yeah, that was really the catalyst for this all to happen. Rushworth and Savinovic side by side. I hear contact, but I can't see where it's happening. Rushworth is now lost the place to Savinovic, so Savinovic through up into 9th place, and now he's going to be falling into the clutches of that manic pack behind. It's David Baker and
Joe are bashing the panels there, and Alex had that quarter panel incident nearly.
Yeah, I nearly had to pull it out again, but they've managed to survive okay, so this is
it's now a quarter panel again.
It's pretty frantic out there right now, and we knew this was going to be close, but Pete Newman's starting to scamper away, 1.2 seconds now.
Baker on Rushworth. Down the inside into Paddock Bend, and look at that, Jobe's going to try and get a piece of the action as well. Rushworth's just losing place after place, and who's that? Daniel Kraft trying to get a piece of the action as well. Where's Andreas Katz in all of this?
And Katz is somewhere, he's buried in the middle of it. There he is.
There he is, trying to get past Daniel Kraft in towards Graham Hill Bend. It's Joe versus Rushworth. Joe around the outside, the number 78 Apex car versus the Power Max car, and he's done it. Fantastic move by Sebastian Jobe, the newcomer to the championship, and now Daniel Kraft is going to get past Rushworth. It's get past Jamie Rushworth day, it looks like.
Beaten up, isn't he? And look at Thompson. Thompson on the brakes are clearways. Nearly managed to clear Andreas Katz.
And now it's Katz's turn to try and get past Jamie Rushworth. Rushworth's just a sitting duck at the moment. Down the front straight, Rushworth, will he put up some sort of defence? No, he doesn't. He moves over to the left-hand side of the track. Katz down the inside into Paddock Hill Bend, and the reigning series champion is through, but not for long. Rushworth side by side with him. These are the two championship contenders at the moment, going into Druids Bend. Jobe's going to try and get past Rushworth now. Rushworth down to 16.
Rushworth's getting absolutely freight train here.
He's got to have some damage or something on that car. He's so slow at the moment.
Palmer's got damage as well, as Murray Walker would say. Half the race gone, half the race still to go. And Pete Newman leads it by 1.4.
Rushworth's shaking the car around. I think Rushworth's got some, yeah, you're right, Alex. Rushworth's got some sort of damage. He's shaking the car around, trying to see what the problem is. The car might be crabbing. I think the car might be crabbing just a tiny little bit.
Maybe enough for it to affect the handling of that Power Max sim racing car. So we'll see if he comes under attack from Laidler and Hackerson now as well. Hackerson looking down the inside of Laidler. Is he going to make that move stick? No, he isn't. They've got Robert Graham just behind for Laser Tools.
Meanwhile, battle for second unfolding between Stephen Richardson.
Contact, I didn't see who it was.
That was that battle, Rushworth, Hackerson and Laidler, all of them getting into each other. I think.
Oh, it's Laidler
and again.
Laidler and Hackerson. And Hackerson are jumping over the grass.
So they've got to be so close now, I would think, to that elusive disqualification with the points. So those guys are going to have to be on the best behaviour for the rest of this race, I'm sure. Never easy. Just get a little bump from behind, that could be you out.
Battle for second.
Horrible front right damage.
Battle for second, and Burke is through into second place past Steve Richardson, and now it's the turn of Stefan Hoog.
Richardson's on the grass.
Hoog around the outside of Richardson. The Oculus versus Power Max, and Hoog has got the inside line for Graham Hill Bend. I think Richardson's going to have to give the place up.
Oh, he's going to hit Stefan Hoog here.
Door handle to door handle, that was pretty close there. And who's that now closing in? It's Daniel Hunt in 5th place, and in 6th is Ellis Stevens. So this pack might close up once again. We've got 11 laps still to go here in this manic second race of the evening here at Brands Hatch Indy. Steve Richardson down to 4th place now.
Tell you what, Adam Richardson doesn't come to the front very often, but when he does, he comes to party. And he's trying that now, but is he letting Daniel Hunt go here?
Interesting indeed. Yeah, he didn't look like he had the full top line, straight line speed.
Unless he's just going to let Ellis Stevens through, and then he's going to back everyone up behind the two-time series champion.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Stevens down here the door. Oh, he closes the door and slams the door in his face, and that allows Savinovic to get past Stevens. Savinovic round the outside, and he's through.
It's contact involving Thompson, I think, there. And off goes Daniel Kraft. Oh, and he hits Katz.
Crashing.
Daniel Kraft hit Katz, but I think he survived it.
So Savinovic in 6th now. Down to 7th has gone Ellis Stevens. 8th is Tim Mawson. 9th is Richard Gore. 10th is Steve Walker. 11th David Baker, Sebastian Jobe. That pack is right, all tightly knitted there as they come across the line. 9 laps to go. Who's that battling? Is that Stephen Burke and Stefan Hoog? The battle for second is now raging on between the Pete Newman car and the Oculus car. And Hoog, I thought, was going in the wall then. And Daniel Hunt's joining in as well. So we've got a three-way battle for second place. Contacts between one of the Power Max cars. I don't know who it was. It was Stevens. I think it was Stevens, because now he's under pressure from the Apex car.
Mawson, I think. Off goes Stevens, but He's managing to keep it on, is he? He just misses the wall,
Oh, no,
but he
he hits
doesn't.
Baker.
Miss
And
Baker, and
who's
off
that?
goes Job.
Is it Job, is it?
Up and over. And
Yes, it is.
Stevens trying desperately to keep it, pointing in the right direction, but came back on. And poor old Baker and Job just had nowhere to go, Alex, at all.
No, nothing they could do there. So heartbreak
Ban that man.
for
Ban
those
him.
guys.
Battle for second continues then between Stephen Burke and Stefan Hoog side by side into Druids Bend. Hoog round the outside, but Burke's going to shove him well wide, but he's not giving up. Hoog is surely going to get an off-track point for that, but he's still not giving up. And now Daniel Hunt round the outside. They hit each other, they rub each other, and he's turned him around. That was a bit naughty there, and he's gone back into the track. Is he going to hit anyone,
I
Andrew?
think that looked like it was a bit intentional there. Yeah, Alex, your favourite one there?
Yeah, let's say nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Can we ban Ellis then? Since he's the league admin, can we ban him because he caused the multi-car crash?
Well, it certainly seems to have split at the pack now, hasn't it? Because Richardson is now coming under pressure from Walker. And Richardson, who was outside the top 5, is now back inside after that carnage a lap ago. Who's in third? So Daniel Hunt now in third, Savidovic in fourth, and Richardson's around. He's been hit by Walker, Steve Walker, but he carries on.
Still going, Richardson. And down towards Graham Hill now.
Tim Mawson trying to join the party, and who's that? Daniel Kraft lunging down the inside of Richard Gore.
Again. It looks like the good behaviour of the first 10-15 laps just gone right out the window now.
Kraft and Katz then through Surtees and in towards Clearways. No way through there for Andreas Katz as Palmer is having it with, is it one of the other Apex cars? Yeah, Lee Thompson.
I think. Yep.
It was Richard Gore that actually those guys were having a little to do with, so he lost a load of places there as well. So.
Oh, off goes Steve Walker, he's in the gravel. And that's going to allow Kraft to go through, and maybe Katz as well. Katz is going to try and follow Kraft through into past Steve Walker.
Back to second, Stephen Burke versus Daniel Hunt. Daniel Hunt's already eliminated one car. Will he do the same to Stephen Burke? He is armed and dangerous as we head through Surtees and in towards Clearways.
Well, Stephen Burke, it was that eliminated thingy, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Stephen Burke was the one that eliminated Andrew Whitehead at the start of the race. Yeah, so both of them.
I think he got as well, didn't he?
Both of them are a threat as well. So yeah, it was Daniel Hunt that eliminated Hoog. So both of these guys have had a history. Going in towards Paddock Hill Bend and 5 laps to go. And Savidovic joining in the action as well. Savidovic on the outside there, and he's going to try and go back to the inside to try and get the move done. Burke on the inside, and Savidovic is going to try and get past Hunt now. Just can't get it done. And they remain in the same positions, but Hunt is definitely getting some stick there from Wojciech Savidovic.
Yeah, and Savidovic, who got shuffled back, didn't he, a little bit in race 1, so he needs to make up for it, and the top 4 will do wonders on him.
Tell you what, after this race, I think we're going to have to go back and have a look at some of the incidents, because some of them have really affected the course of this race, Andrew. Over the timing line then, 4 laps to go. Pete Newman leads Stephen Burke by 4 seconds into Paddock Hill Bend. Hunt's going to try and go around the outside. No, he's going to get the cut back. He's selling him the dummy
there.
There's
no room there.
And Savidovic, where's he going to go? Down the inside, and he hits him, and he forces his way through.
We said there was going to have to be a bit of close quarters racing here. Alex, are some of these guys just going a bit gung-ho now? It's getting towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 laps left, and the battle from sort of 6, 7. Oh, there's cars all over the place. I'm just watching it on the screen now.
Oh, Richardson's been punted off, I think. Oh, he's back on and he's hit someone else.
It's Katz, the championship. So it's second place in the championship.
Both the Power Max cars. Oh, sorry, Rushworth as well, was it?
Well, that just sums up Jamie Rushworth's race.
Apologies.
So yeah,
I think it was an Oculus car, wasn't it?
It was an Oculus car, sorry. And he's been hit again when he's come back on. Andreas Katz, and there's so much going on there, difficult to see, but yeah, Katz ended up hitting the wall.
Blimey, does this race throw up any more surprises? 2.5 laps to go, and the battle for second is settled down now. It's all going on behind.
Burke, Savidovic, Hunt. Hunt took out Hoog, and Burke took out Whitehead. So, well, Savidovic might need to be careful a little bit here, but it's like it's all broken down a little bit, Adam, hasn't it?
Yeah, let's see if we can get a clean lap.
Steve Walker hitting Mawson. pushing him out of the way at clearways. Mawson going a bit wide now, and he's going to have to try and get this.
Palmer's down the inside.
Try and recover.
Palmer down the inside then of Mawson. Will Mawson put up much of the defence on the final few laps of the race? Palmer down the inside. Mawson going to try and get the cut back. Engine Oils Direct versus Apex Racing TV in towards Druids Bend. Palmer has the inside line. Is he going to go in too deep? He might have done, and that's going to allow Richard Gore to try and get alongside. No, sorry, Lee Thompson. Lee Thompson side by side with Tim Mawson going in towards Graham Hill Bend, and Thompson thinks better of it.
Sensible driving from Thompson. He decided to just get out of that completely. He didn't want to try and force his way past his teammate, and I don't blame him. Pete Newman leads by over 4 seconds then from Stephen Burke, who's under a lot of pressure still from Savidovic. Yeah, Savidovic pulls out from the slipstream. He's going to go for this cutback now, Alex, down the hill.
Yeah, this time he's going to have to do it around the outside again, but pretty savvy enough to cover the inside. He's got far enough alongside this time, surely, to have the advantage going into Graham Hill. Oh, he's all over the grass, but he's going to try and make it stick.
No.
Just too far back, just couldn't quite get the traction there, but
Burke's made a mistake.
And here comes Hunt
there.
Oh! They're going to hit each other again, surely. Off goes
Burke's gone off.
And he's back on.
He's under control on the way back on.
And here comes Hunt.
Pete Newman's going to win the race.
Hunt's going to get second, I think. He's going to get both of them. Yes, he does. That's fantastic.
Savidovic. He's trying to create some circuit there.
Second place for Daniel Hunt. What an opportunistic driving.
Doing? Oh, Burke slowed down right on the line there. I don't know what he was doing.
I think Burke had a slowdown because he went over the course and he had to serve it.
You have to serve that before the line.
You have to serve it before the line, yeah, which would have been disqualified.
Wow.
So let's run you through the rest of the top 10 as they come across the line. 6th is Steve Walker. 7th is Ben Palmer, who starts as 16th. 8th is Tim Mawson. 9th, Benjamin Hackerson from 26th on the grid. 10th is Lee Thompson. 11th, Richard Gore. 12th, Simon Field from 37th. 13th is Alex Walensky from 30th. 14th, Jamie Rushworth. So he started 20th, however there must have been something wrong with his car because he was losing places hand over fist during the race. 15th, Russell Laidler. 16th, John Roberts. 17th, Robert Plumley. 18th, Ellis Stevens. 19th, Scott Malcolm. And in 20th, it is James Leggett. Wow, what a race.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it started off really, really clean, and then it didn't finish so clean, but Pete Newman, Alex was excellent. He took his time to get past the front group, and then when he did, it was plain sailing for him.
Yeah, absolutely great drive from Pete. Can't take anything away. So we said he was going to be strong. He was in a good position. We know how quick he is, and he can make his way through traffic fairly cleanly and fairly quickly. So he did exactly that, and just pulled away really, like we saw in the previous race with Sebastian. Do you know what? Actually, I think the racing was really good that time. There was a couple of instances of maybe obviously at the start, unfortunately, Whitehead got caught up in something with Burke there. So. Just a case of the cars getting locked together. Just a bit unfortunate that happened, but I just think there was a couple of little instances, and we've seen this in a few other races as well. That drivers where they've left the track just need to be careful about how they rejoin the track. So I think that caused 2 or 3 big incidents.
Stevens rejoining. Was it Stevens rejoining the track that caused Katz and Job to go off in a big way? Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought the race, there was a little bit of barging here and there, but actually it was pretty good. Pretty, it was what you kind of expect from touring car. But yeah, it's just though, I think in previous races as well, we've seen guys just like turn back onto the racing line, It's just like, what's going on?
I think that's the problem, isn't it? I think it's the rejoining of the track that needs to be.
I understand with Steve there, it wasn't his fault. He got sort of hit and moved, but yeah, I think he still needed to be a little bit cautious about how he rejoined there, because fortunately he ended 2 drivers' races there.
There's all sorts of handbags going on
in it, so yeah.
There's all sorts of handbags going on in the chat, but I just think there was just a bit of silliness going on. I don't think there was anything malicious really. I think there was a couple of little naughty moves at him, but nothing blatant, it seemed.
No, nothing too blatant. I think really the closest we can get to that is the incidents between...
It's the Hunt one, isn't
Stephen Burke, Stephen Burke and Andrew Whitehead on lap 2 and Hunt and Hoog, yeah. So the officials did speak of them.
Sorry, go on, yeah.
The officials did say before the race, after a huge incident at Road America, which we can't unfortunately show you, that they'd be taking a bit of a dim view towards intentional wrecking. Oh, bad rejoining of the track. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Jamie Rushworth, the chief steward, as well as Season 4 champion, said that if you fail to rejoin the track in a safe manner, you will get penalised. So...
Yeah.
We did say as well, didn't we, that after Silverstone last year, I think that rule was clarified. So it just needs a bit more care. For instance, Ellis, I mean, he did so well to avoid the wall, but he could have done a bit more care coming back on the track. But and that's cost poor Seb and cost Baker a better finish as well. Baker finished 21st, but it probably lost him a top 10 there, Alex.
You're giving us a bit of a bad rap because I don't think it was him who did that, unfortunately.
Was it not him?
No.
Who was it who went off the track then? It was a red car.
I think it was his teammate there.
Was
that
it?
Did that, so,
Oh.
but yeah, poor old Ellis. He'll think you've got it in for him.
Let's have a look at the cars that are eligible before we have a look at the incident for the reverse grid. Race number 3. Can there be any more action in the BSRTC Pro Series? The cars eligible then from 15th to 25th. Russell Layla 15th, 16th John Roberts, Robert Plumley 17th, Ellis Stevens 18th, Scott Malcolm 19th, James Leggett in 20th, David Baker 21st, Laura Bond 22nd, Gordon Wilson 23rd, Stefan Hoog 24th, and Martin Brandon 25th. So over to you, Alex, for the reverse grid dice.
I've just looked back, Alex. It was him. But to be fair, looking at it again, he didn't really have anywhere to go. I'm sure he'll give me some grief about that earlier, but he properly took out Seb. That was quite. Seb will be dizzy. His children will be dizzy, I think.
Right, I've done our 3 dummy rolls, so the final one's going to be 18th. The first time we've seen a sub 20 number
Ellis
on
Stevens.
Oh, there you go.
So Ellis Stevens onto pole position with Robert Plumley second place, John Roberts third, Russell Laidler fourth, and Jamie Rushworth in fifth place. So that damage might be a bit of a blessing in disguise for him. He won race 2 at Road America. I don't know if he won any races at Phillip Island, but he's got a chance of taking another victory here tonight.
Indeed it is. And we're going to leave the madness of race 2 for now, but we're going to be back in about 10 minutes time for race 3. So stick with us. Brands Hatch awaits another round.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com. Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race. So you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
For the final time tonight, we bring you action from Brands Hatch in the Engine Oil Direct Touring Car Pro Series. Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath and Alex Simpson. And Alex, second reverse grid race, bright sunlight, completely different to the to race 2. What do you think's in store?
Yeah, very contrasting weather. I think those first few laps where we saw the guys just tippy-toeing round, we won't have that. We'll be full on attack, trying to make some places up. I'm going to call for the caution again. Just different attitudes there. I think a few feathers have been ruffled in that last race as well. Looking at the chat, so as we see some poor Pete Newman car. Who is that? Let's just have a look. It is Pete Newman himself. In real life, he would have just died.
And there's an Apex car rolling down the hill. Lee Thompson all the way down the hill in Paddock Hill, rolling up and over and over and over. So with that caution that you called for, Alex, Adam, can you take us through the grid, mate?
Yeah, let's have a look at the grid then for race 3. 18 cars were reversed, as if you were watching earlier, and on the pole position it means it's Ellis Stevens, and personally I think he's my call to win this. Second place it is Robert Plumley, third it's John Roberts, fourth it is Russell Laidler, fifth Jamie Rushworth, so he could be one to watch as well. In fact, him and his teammate Ellis Stevens, they're probably my favourites to win. Sixth is Alex Walensky, seventh Simon Field, eighth Richard Gore, ninth Lee Thompson, 10th Benjamin Hackerson, 11th is Tim Mawson, 12th Ben Palmer, 13th Steve Walker, 14th Daniel Kraft, 15th Stephen Burke, 16th Wojciech Savidovic, 17th Daniel Hunt, 18th our race 2 winner Pete Newman, then 19th it is Scott Malcolm, and then rounding out the top 20 it is James Leggett. However, outside the top 20, people to watch: 21st David Baker, we've got Stefan Hug starting in 24th, we've got Andreas Katz starting 28th, Sebastian Job, after having a pretty awful race 2 after winning race 1, is in 37th place. So those are quite a few champions and quite a few promising drivers starting outside the top 20. If we have the same amount of action that we had in race 2, Andrew, I think those guys could be in amongst the top 10 or inside the top 20 by the end of the race.
Yeah, I think they could indeed. And Alex, we were saying that it was a tall order for Seb last time. With 37th place, it's going to be even worse this time.
Crazy difficult for him. Interesting to see how well he does, and if he can have a reasonably strong race this one, then it'll be a good race weekend for him, because everybody, most of the top drivers have all had their issues. Svidovic, I think, is the one who's sort of been in and around both races. So,
but he's sort of lacked a little bit of pace, hasn't he, here and there? So, one thing that we're going to have to watch out for, mate, as well, the tyres may overheat here, the fronts especially.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again. Of course, front-wheel drive is always very limiting. Hot track, so like you say, we'll keep an eye on it towards the end of the race, see who might have burnt them up a little bit earlier than the others.
The 38 cars, Adam, we're going to take to the grid. Who's your money on quickly?
Stevens. I'm going to say Ellis Stevens is going to win it.
I'm going to go for Jamie Rushworth. I think from 5th, it's going to be hard to ignore the former champion there, but well, Ellis is a former champion as well. If anyone can do it, he can. Robert Plumley on the front as well. He's going to have good pace too. So let's see. For the final time then this evening. The revs are up. The green is on here at Brands Hatch for the third time. Ellis Stevens got a good start. Poor start from John Roberts. From the second row, he's being swamped there by Rushworth and Laidler is around the outside as well. Stevens a bit cautious into Paddock Hill.
Who's that
pushing panels with Plumley?
So it's Robert Plumley side by side with Stevens, and I think Plumley's going to have him cleared. So Robert Plumley takes the lead already. Fantastic start from him. Stevens into second. Third is Russell Laidler. Fourth it is Jamie Rushworth. So Rushworth managed to gain a spot from the start there.
Yep, and Roberts lost a couple of spots. Rushworth up to 4th. He needs to get some contact.
Smolenski and Thompson are around.
Kraft has been pushed wide by Palmer, and then Palmer going a bit wide himself with Clearways. I think they'll be giving the position back actually to Daniel Kraft. Behind them is Richard Gore with Wojciech Savidovic and Tim Mawson there as well, and Daniel Hunt going side by side with Pete Newman. That's for 14th and 15th.
Another Pete Newman media car going side by side. It's Simon Field versus John Roberts. So through Druids Bend and
we've got a couple of cars off. I think that is, I'm not sure who that is. Who is it? It's Pete Newman. He's into the wall hard. There was another car who went with him. I'm not sure who that was. Oh, do you know what? I think it might have been Whitehead again. Don't know. He's been in the pits a little bit long.
No, it wasn't. It was a single car crash for Newman, Alex.
Okay.
Well, I say single car crash. He was helped a little bit, I think, by Daniel Hunt, but nobody followed him in. Nobody hit the wall.
Battle for the lead. Here comes Stevens down the inside end of lap 2. He's going for it, and Stevens takes the lead. No, he doesn't. Robert Plumley going to go back round the outside, and here comes the GTO Mega car.
Russell Laidler.
Laidler, 3 wide into Druids Bend on lap number 3. Surely not. And Stevens gets the lead back as we head through Druids, but it's not over yet. Here comes Robert Plumley down the inside into Graham Hill Bend. The Lugnuts car's going down the inside, and he's through. and he's shoving Stevens out wide. They're going to be free abreast once again nearly. 2 by 2 as we head in towards 30s. Jamie Rushworth doesn't know where to go. Plumley versus Stevens. Plumley gets the lead back.
I'd advise him to go anywhere apart from into the back of his teammate, and he shoves Rusty Laidler wide there. Rushworth taking no prisoners, and that's allowed Field to go through into P4, and Laidler's losing position.
Stevens looming in. Robert Plumley's mirror, he's going this way, and that he's going to try around the outside this time in towards Paddock Hill Bend so he can get the cut back into Druids. Doesn't really work that time, but it's Plumley holding the inside line. Stevens to the outside. Let's see if Stevens can get it done. He's rubbing panels with him. That was the quarter panel incident right there, Alex, nearly, as we head through Druids Bend and down towards Graham Hill Bend now. Plumley still having to defend. He has been defending for about the last 2 laps. Stevens going to get the cut back now through Graham Hill Bend down towards 30s. Just alongside to get the move done, so Plumley still holds on for now. And Rushworth's giving Stevens a lot of aggravation as well. And who's that behind it? Simon Field in 4th. So Field, who was 38th at the end of race 1, is now 4th as they come across the timing line. But Robert Plumley still leads. 22 laps to go. A long way to go in his 3rd race. As Stevens is now under pressure from his teammate Rushworth, who hangs it out around the outside. So side by side, and Stevens has got the move. Stevens has got the lead down the inside in towards Druids. He's got it.
This time he gets it done. Field.
Yes.
Field almost hitting Plumley because there wasn't enough room there, and the first time that we've seen volatile element at the front, but it didn't last long, Alex.
No, not at all. I think Plumley and Stevens are actually quite even on pace, but maybe Plumley just this week just seems to be a little bit lacking, and he's coming under pressure now from Rushworth as well.
Yeah, it's rare for Robert Plumley to have
Dan
lack of
Hunt
speed.
is out as well. Something must have happened in that lap. Dan Hunt retired as well. So,
and I don't think Andreas Katz took the start. I don't know whether he was involved in any incident, Alex, but he's not in this race.
Martin Brandon's out. Steve Richardson's out. Andreas Katz didn't start the race. I wonder if that's got anything to do with some of the handbags that were going on the last race. Gordon Wilson, Andrew Whitehead, and Lee Thompson also a lap down already.
Oh! Rushworth Rushworth paying him back there.
Plumley's off.
Plumley rejoin the track carefully, please, and I think he does. He's down to 6th place, but Rushworth Rushworth's got a problem. Rushworth's off.
And it's the front right of the car, Adam.
They hit each other going into Graham Hill Bend, and then Rushworth paid him right for his troubles. Yeah.
The front right of Jimmy Rushworth's car is totaled completely into
something's
the
going on somewhere. I can hear some sort of carnage. Well, I thought I could.
I think it might be in Paddock Hill. I saw some dust kicked up.
Oh no, it's Whitehead and Stanimir Zuzov, I think. It's Janowski, sorry.
Savinovic threw in. Sorry.
And that's a Pina Media car getting into him as well. Let's just take a little replay, see what it was, because it sounded pretty severe that I could hear it on the other side of the track.
And Laser Tools car crashed off at the same time.
Hey, look what it was. My favourite incident. It's got to be one of those every race for sure.
Did you see the Laser Tools car as well, Alex?
I didn't quite catch that.
Spinning off in the background of that incident.
A bit of quarter panelling going on.
Ellis Stevens leads by 1 point more.
Poor Whitehead just tried to get himself out of the way of one of the Pete Newman cars. It's like, oh no!
So Jamie Rushworth down to 27th place, so your bet for race 3 winner, Andrew, doesn't seem to have worked out there. Stevens first, 2nd place is Simon Field.
Kraft is off as well. I just rejoined the lead battle, and Kraft is going flying into turn 1 there.
Gore went off as well, I think. And was it Seb? It might have been Seb that went off.
It was Plumley that took Kraft off, yeah, huge into the barriers.
Thompson's getting lapped in the middle of all that as well. Laura Bond's there. Goodness me, Hackerson's there as well with the sort of teal on the top of his car.
Yeah, another one of my favourite incidents. Poor old Dan Kraft was the victim of that one. Have it on the rear quarter panel, son. Works every time.
Where was that? Oh, that was Paddock Hill Bend. Oh yeah. Oh, Plumley just had him, didn't he?
When in doubt, quarter panel.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best way.
The magic button.
17 and a half laps to go then. Wojciech Savinovic has come out of nowhere. He started 16th, he's now 3rd, and he's looking pretty good to have a good chance of winning. More battles, is there, Alex?
Tim Mawson, I think it was. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it was now actually.
Wilson's in 9th, driving for Apex.
No, it
Racing.
wasn't. I'm not sure who it was actually, but they were all sideways, whoever it was, and managed to collect it back up. More sideways action, I think, is that Matt Walker? I think, yeah, Walker, all sideways as well. So everywhere I look, something's going on. Baker side by side with Roberts as well.
Laura Bond went through on Sebastian Job, and then Job got her back in the next corner. Richard Gore is in the mid. Well, he's just in front of those actually. But there's all sorts going on where sort of Baker is. Baker's just got through all that. Look at the damage, Adam, on the front of Baker's volatile element car.
Yeah, Baker's been in the wars really tonight. Got involved in a huge incident with, was it Ellis Stevens earlier in the race, and in race 2, sorry, and now he's got a huge amount of damage on his volatile element car already. We're just going to divert your attention back to the back. Savidovic, yeah, and Simon Field battling over second place, and they're just keeping Ellis Stevens honest. There's only 9 tenths of a second separating the top 3 as they came across the line that time. Simon Field lapped the quickest, 47.3, Savidovic 47.4, and Stevens 47.5. So they're all lapping within a tenth of a second of each other. That's how close it is in the BRSTC Pro Series. We've got 15 laps to go when we get to the line. Savidovic, I think, is just biding his time. He is a past series champion, as is Ellis Stevens. And look at this, Andrew. They're coming in on some lap traffic. Yeah, I don't know who that is in front. It might be Smolenski. In fact, it is Alex Smolenski, and he needs to get out of the way.
He does a good job.
Does a good job there, and in fact, Field and Savidovic are now starting to close in on the two-time champion.
Tell you what, Smolenski came back on just in front of Palmer. Smolenski's had a poor lap because he was only 34 seconds behind. He's now 1 lap down. So just the order quickly: Stevens, Field, Savidovic, Laidler, Palmer, Plumley, Baker, Mawson in 8th, Roberts 9th, 10th for Burke, 11th Walker. 10th is Job, 11th is Walker, John Roberts 12th, Laura Bond 13th, Stephen Hook 14th, Ben Haxton 15th.
Closing in.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying that the top 3 are now closing in.
Oh, look at this battle, sorry, at the hairpin. And that's John Roberts, Laura Bond, Steve Walker, Stephen Hook, Hackerson and Gore. Alex, that's a gaggle.
Yeah, there ever was a gaggle, there's a gaggle.
Hoog all over the back of Bond going into. Sorry, was it Bond?
Now then, Mawson and Job trying to get around Stephen Burke here. That's for P8.
Savidovic through.
Mawson around the outside as well. I think he's going to try and make this stick. Burke's going to be late on the brakes. He's got Job trying to get around the inside as well. So
doesn't know which way to look at the moment.
I think Tim's going to get him into Graham Hill. Just
he got him all right.
Gives him a little nudge step. They're both, in fact, they're both going to get him there, I think.
That's not good.
That's exactly what we talked about. Drivers just not being. I mean, it's all going off behind there as well. Other people involved.
Well, the thing is, he was hit by the other car, wasn't he? He was hit by the other car, came back on, and that looked a bit dodgy to me.
So Stephen Burke and Sebastian Job not having a good race at all. Battle for the lead now, just to bring it back here, guys, and Savidovic is now onto the back of Ellis Stevens. Last time round, Stevens was 1/10 of a second slower than Savidovic, but after having a bit of traffic in front of him, this has allowed the top 3 to close in, and Russell Layla, only 0.8 of a second behind, will certainly join the action in a minute as Summerfield goes down the inside, and Savidovic gives him just enough room. Good driving there by the Season 6 champion. Simon Field now side by side with Savidovic as they come out of clearways. Over the timing line, who's it going to be? Between these two, this was the final lap of the race. It'd be a really close finish. Over the line they go. Savidovic on the outside, Field on the inside. As this is one of the Apex cars there, nearly ends up ruining it for both of them. Savidovic around the outside into Druids Bend. Savidovic remains in second place, or does he? Just so Savidovic in second place.
Yeah, and I think I watched it from onboard Stephen Burke. I think he was just trying to get back on the track and not take an incident point for that, but that shows a bit of a symptom of the incident limit, isn't it? Of trying not to be disqualified. Yeah. And then unfortunately he's got a 4X on his record now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it cost him just as much. I mean, he's down in 26th place with a severely damaged car as well. So Yeah, it's unfortunate, and yeah, there was a little
Unfortunate for
bit.
Seb because he's been taken out twice in that same stretch of track.
Yeah. So
but-
yeah, he got a little nudge, did Burt there, which is what sent him out wide, and you know, again, he's kept his foot in it, trying to salvage his position, and yeah, it's unfortunate because he wouldn't have wanted to lose it, because obviously he got nudged out there, so you can understand why he's tried to do that, but
Yeah, it was a slightly clumsy move by Mawson, wasn't it, into Graham Hill Bend, and it was Seb that paid for that, unfortunately.
indeed.
And now Stefan Hooger on the outside of Mawson, who's gone through. I can hear some contact.
Stevens is off, nearly.
Somehow managed to keep that under control there. There's back markers all around these guys as well now, so...
Russell Layler's joined the action as well,
I
Alex.
think Sebastian Job is one of those back markers, but he's got fresh tyres now as well, which is going to mean that he's going to want past as well, which maybe isn't the best strategy for Seb.
Here comes Davidovic.
Stevens.
He leaves the door
Oh,
open.
come on, Ellis, don't leave the door open.
Closes it.
You've
I
got
think
to close.
he knew what to do
Oh.
there. And that was Layler and Savidovic having contact.
Druids, Alex, is one of those corners you really cannot leave the door open at all.
No, not at all.
Here comes Fields. Just... Is he close
Oh,
enough?
Savidovic is
He's
just
having a
leaving him
look.
a bit of space.
And
Oh,
now
he's closed the door again.
No, Layler's not too far away, yeah, sorry. through clear ways, we get it going into the final 10 laps of the race now. So Savidovic has dropped back a bit now, Stevens. Stevens has got a 1 second lead, so Stevens can breathe easy for a lap or two.
Yep, it may all need to start again for him though if Savidovic can get there. Savidovic starts 16th on the grid. He's done a very good race, Adam, but we are seeing that just like in race 1, it appears that Wojciech's tyres are just giving up a little.
And this is definitely going to affect the championship. I've just been given the standings through now. Savidovic 14 points behind Rushworth going into this final race of the evening, and with Rushworth having a bit of contact, yeah. So this is definitely good.
Now.
Yes, so this is definitely going to affect the championship points, especially with Katz not racing at all. Lee Thompson might be third in the standings by the end of this race.
Where is Thompson actually?
No, Thompson's way down.
Thompson's 9 laps down.
Yeah,
In 32nd place, yeah. So and he's 70 points behind Katz in the standings. So I don't think he's going to be moving up there.
He was a
at
lap
all.
down very early on, Adam, there,
It
Thompson.
was, yeah, lap 1, wasn't it? Him and Smolenski got together, and yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened. Didn't actually see the build up to that one. So
Have a look a little bit further down.
Laura Bond on the back of Tim Mawson. So those guys have been pretty close, guys and gals, isn't it?
That's
Been,
Plumley, and Plumley's going up the inside of Hoog.
Yeah. Round the outside, there goes
Oh,
Hoog.
that's
Rubbing
close.
each other.
That's really good close stuff, that. Blue Druids, Plumley and Hoog, 2 veterans of the series, giving each other a lot of respect there, Adam.
Yeah, Plumley missing a huge chunk of the left side of his car. I think either that or it's sticking up in the air. I can't really tell.
Yeah, he's sticking up in the air, I think.
As they head in towards clearways, Robert Plumley behind Hoog and just can't get the move done. Is that a bit of lap traffic in front of them? I think it is. Let's see if the Laser Tools car can kindly get out of the way as they come across the line. 7 laps to go. You're not missing anything at the front of the pack. It's 2 tenths of a second separating Stevens and Savidovic down in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Plumley just starting to lose touch now. But who's that battling behind? Is that Tim Mawson and Laura Bond? Yes, it is. And Laura Bond looking down
about it.
inside.
Alex, what's the mentality now? You're in the last 6 laps. Last race of the day, is it just go for it? Or is there still some consideration there about the standings?
I think when you're a bit further back, you're just going to go for it because it's for the team points. And if you're sat in 4th place like Russell Laidler right now, he's going to want to make sure he gets one of those places. So he's going to be a little bit cautious about it, maybe until the last couple of laps. But of course, the podiums we keep going on about earlier on, that's what's important for the guys at the front. They want to clock up those podiums.
Back to the front.
Simon Fields slammed the door on Russell Laidler, Adam, and your pick's looking quite good at the moment. Don't want to curse anything, but
Side by side, Bond and Mawson, though, just as we jumped away. Bond up the inside, Mawson's going to have to hold it around the outside. He goes very, very
gone
wide.
very wide again. Yeah, done that
there's-
before, Alex. Don't take it too much of a wide line.
was dropping down, so Hefford just all of a sudden got a DQ. So
Beard, yeah.
I'm not sure quite what's happened with him, and I think somebody else may have done as well at the same time there. So yeah, a couple of guys coming together, and it's getting pretty close. Oh, it's Richard Gore.
Yeah, Richard Gore.
Gore's out, is he?
Gore's out as well, so...
Jay Wright's up to 18th.
Oh
from
no, there's a car.
36 on the grid.
There's a car on the track and they have to get out of the way.
Roberts.
And he does a very good job there. I thought it was going to be disaster there, but...
Brands Hatch is known for a rallycross track, Adam, and he's made his own one there.
Yeah, he's on practically part of the rallycross track as we head towards Surtees Bend, and Savinovic just can't get the move done yet. He hasn't been as close as he was the last few laps as Field has a look down the inside. He has got a good run though, Savinovic, through clearways. Let's see if he can get the slipstream down the front straight.
It was Roberts and Gore, Alex, who got together. Hearing on the spectator chat that Roberts and Gore had a big accident. So we might be able to see that in a bit, but we're going to see Stevens still defending that lead then from Savinovic, Power Max Sim Racing and Engine Oil Direct. Stevens needs to shove Savinovic a bit wider if he's going to keep that position into Graham Hill Bend, because Alex, once you get slightly alongside in Graham Hill, you've got that chance to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it countless times, and Savinovic getting very, very racy now. It's go time, 4 laps to go. Field is just waiting for him to make the move so he can pounce on both of them, I feel.
And it's very nice, clean stuff at the front so far.
Almost a bit too clean.
Well, still 4 laps to go. And the thing is as well, Alex, for someone like Savinovic, he doesn't want second to become 4th or 5th because he makes a silly move on Stevens.
Oh yeah, exactly. Very easily could happen as well. So I mean, he'll be patient. I'm sure he'll wait for the right move.
Into Druids Bend then. Last time around. Ella Stevens 48.26. Savinovic 48.23. So only a few hundredths in it. That's how close it is at the moment. Simon Field in 3rd. Russell Laidler in 4th, lapping almost identical times as well. In towards Surtees Bend. We're about to start the penultimate lap of the race, and Savinovic has never been closer. In towards clearways. He's surely not going to lunge it up down the inside. Stevens is wise to that move. Through clearways and onto the front straight. It's going to be 4 cars in a line as they come across the start-finish line to start the penultimate lap of the race. And I think eventually there needs to be a bit of contact, because I think that's the only way any of these drivers are going to advance their position.
Rest of the top 10, Penn Palmer 5th, David Baker in 6th, Stefan Hoog is 7th, 8th for Laura Bond, 9th Tim Mawson, and then 10th Steve Walker as round the outside again tries Wojciech Savinovic, season 6 champion. And into Graham Hill again, nothing eventful. Stevens going to have to defend the line into Surtees. He is, but it's going to make the corner difficult. Very fast left-hander, Adam.
Indeed, and into towards the final corner. Clearway's about to get the white flag, and Stevens shows him a little bit.
Savinovic thought about that, didn't he? Stevens unwinds that Kia Optima, Alex. On to the final lap now.
Yeah, just needs to do exactly what he's done for the rest of this race. It's all important now.
Here we go then, in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Savinovic taking a wide line so he can get the best possible straight line speed, which he has done. He's going to be round the outside of Stevens. If he can hold that...
Stevens needs to break a bit later than... Yes,
here he goes.
He does it. Savinovic isn't going to get through there, and I fear he's not going to get through at all now. On the grass. Simon Field is still there. Russell Laidler is still there. Ben Palmer's within 2 seconds if it all kicks off.
Here we go then, in towards 30. Savinovic not as close as he was last time around.
He's going to have to punt him, isn't he?
Here we go, in towards the final corner. He hits him a little bit.
Oh, he was too kind. He was too kind. Ella Stevens is going to win it.
Surely, yes. Checker flag in the air. It's all about second place, which I think Savinovic will hold on to. And race 9 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship goes to Ella Stevens.
Pole position and victory for the 2-time champion.
I knew that was going to happen.
You did indeed. Wojciech Savinovic 2nd, 3rd for Field. They're still coming over the line. Bond going to take 8th. Mawson just ahead of Walker then. And then Plumley and Hackerson, teammates for Volatile Element, 11th and 12th. James Leggett 13th, good from him. Matt Walker 14th. Smith is 15th. 16th Jay Wright. And then Rushworth in 17th. Not a bad effort from Jamie to come through to there. 18th Stanimir Zuzov, 19th Colin Steele, and then Pete Newman is going to come over for 20th place. Not a good race again for Pete Newman. He went hard into the wall, didn't he, on the first lap. Stephen Burke in 21st after contact. Daniel Kraft more contact in 22nd, and then Von Glan is the last man on the lead lap in 23rd, and also scoring points. Sebastian Job 24th, Robert Graham 25th, John Roberts 26th, Retirement, Scott Malcolm, Gordon Wilson, Richard Gore, Steve Hefford, Alex Smolensky, Lee Thompson, Daniel Hunt, Andrew Whitehead, Julian Janowski, Martin Brandon, and Steve Richardson. And Katz did not start the race. Well, Adam, that was a great drive from Stevens.
Fantastic job. Put a lot of defence up. I thought he'd lost. In fact, I don't think he lost the lead at all during that race. So fantastic job from him. And Wojciech Savidovic to go from 16th to 2nd. Who are the other big movers? We've had David Baker 21st to 6th. So the former champions have shown their worth in this third race by working their way through the pack.
Yeah, and Alex, this is becoming a much more difficult proposition, isn't it, for these top tier drivers to, the cream of the crop to come through, because
that's the thing. I think
the midfield drivers are just stepping up to the mark, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've seen that today, and I think we'll see that for the rest of the season. Actually, the real quick drivers, okay, they can get to the front in the first race. Obviously, the qualifying puts them there, and that's where they're scoring their points. And then the rest of the next two races, I think, is just going to be important for them to finish, undamaged. I think that in its own will give them probably maximum points for the week. It just seems that the guys perhaps pushing through, just getting caught up here and there with other battles going on the track. So certainly lots of drivers were caught out with that today. And we have, I think really it's just Savidovic really who's had 3 good races. He'll definitely come away from this race as the top scorer, I'm sure. But yeah, some other really good jobs, sort of drives as well. I mean, I'm not sure what Ellis did in the first race, but his second race was fairly reasonable as well, and another win there, so he'll be right up there with the points for this race as well. Bonds had a pretty good meeting as well. Just that second race, was it, where she retired as well? So Plumley as well, 2 good races. Palmer as well, he's had a couple of good races. So yeah,
drivers like Laura and Robert Plumley, and they're going to be the ones, Alex, that might just squeeze into those showdown positions at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they need to do. If they can't, some of the drivers can't quite get there on the podium. The consistency with the points is what's going to get them there at the end. So, and
also that David Baker finished 6th, Adam. Again.
Yeah, the magic place for David Baker. Managed to get up to 6th place in the end. So great job from him. It's a great result for everyone, really, because Ellis Stevens winning and David Baker getting 6th place. It's just unfortunate the likes of Jamie Rushworth getting involved and Andreas Katz not taking the start. I hope that wasn't for personal issues. Hopefully it was just a connection problem, and hopefully we see him at Donington Park next week.
Well, Ellis likes to tell everyone that he's not any good, and he's won 3 races in the last 2 seasons, Alex. He can't be that bad at all.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. He likes to play himself down bad, actually. Very, very strong driver, and you don't win a championship if you're not a good driver, and I feel like...
he's got 2.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like... I don't know, he certainly got the chance, not necessarily just on pure outright pace, but actually if he just seems to have good races, good consistent races in second, third one, and that could get him in showdown at the end of the season. And then who knows what happens in there.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've seen in all the rounds so far this season that the unpredictable can happen. Adam, what we need to do, actually, we do need to talk about the John Dolan Trophy, which is to be decided today as well. Now, 3 drivers we need to choose who exhibit good sportsmanship, clean driving, and also the best of competition. I say we pick one each for the day.
Okay.
Adam, I'll start with you. Who has exhibited good sportsmanship? Maybe not the fastest. It could be one of the fastest drivers, but somebody who's had good, clean races and deserving of that important award. So just to give you a couple of seconds to think about it while I just outline exactly why we have this award. So basically, John Dolan was driver, a keen-eye racer, drove the Lotus 79. He was always helping people who want, helping people out with the driving style and with the car and things like that. but unfortunately he died 8 months ago, and his favourite track was Brands Hatch. So we are awarding this round at both Brands Hatch rounds, and the trophy will be given to the next person, the next recipients of it. So we need to choose 3 drivers.
I was about to say it's like for me it's either Savidovic
Sorry,
or Kraft.
one driver. I apologise. I can't read properly. One driver between the 3 of us. So what do we think?
Savidovic. I think. I don't know where he finished in race 2, and I don't know how much contacts he had during the... I can't remember how much contacts he had, to be honest with that. There was that much racing going on.
Sure, he tried a cheeky little bump and run in that one of the first 2 races as well.
What did Dan Kraft get up to?
Kraft was... I was thinking Baker, actually. I didn't see Baker do anything.
Apart from getting involved in an unfortunate incident in race 2.
Yeah, exactly. So,
which wasn't his fault.
No, exactly. I certainly didn't see him nudge anyone, knock anyone, or anything. So, there was. I hate to say it, but there wasn't any other sort of the driver that I would say that didn't have a little, knock and bang here or there. So, I mean, unfortunately, I can't obviously comment on some of the drivers a bit further back because the racing was so intense at the front. We were covering that through most of it. So apologies for the guys a bit further back who are probably shouting at me right now.
It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's not hit anyone, but it's just someone who embodies the spirit of iRacing, I suppose. I mean, the other one for me is Laura, but I think Savidovic. I think I'd be happy to give it to Savidovic.
I think you could give it to Savidovic. Actually, he's had a good meeting, and if all I'm arguing about is that little bump and run,
sixth, third,
silly.
6th, 3rd, and 2nd for Wojciech Savidovic tonight.
Yeah, and to be honest, with the people further down, I didn't really see anyone who really went above and beyond what they normally achieve, really, either, Alex, that stood out.
No, exactly, yeah.
So Wojciech Savidovic wins the John Dolan Award. Well done to him, and another award to add to the cabinet. So that'll be contested again in 6 months' time at the end of this season at Brands Hatch again. So, Alex, is there anything you want to cover from that race in terms of accents, in terms of replays? What do you think? Or are you want to do some interviews?
No, actually, I think I'm just a little bit pressed for time. Actually, the race meeting's just gone a little bit long, so
we have to call it. That's fine.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it. I don't think there was any particular incident. I mean, there was a few just unfortunate ones again, but we don't need to recap over those. Those happened, and that's that.
Yeah, and I'm sure the stewards will have a little look at that through the week anyway.
But yeah, no, I think for the most part, pretty decent meeting, and the first race was spectacular. I just let's see some more of that. I think from the guys, just from the commentator's point, that first race was epic, and if everyone could be as patient as they were in that first race for the second and third races, I know it's reverse grid order, but would this championship would just look something else if that was the level. That's the only thing really I just want to pick up on. I just think there perhaps wasn't the patience in the drivers in the second and third race, which caused some of those random incidents. But yeah, there was nothing I would say that was stand out in that last race that we've got to go back and recap.
So next week we head to Indianapolis Road Course, Alex, one that I know that you like a hell of a lot. 53 grid spots and 5-car teams there. What do you think? What do you see happening when we go to the Brickyard?
Yeah, so we're doing the road, not the bike, because I know the last time we went.
Bike.
Yeah, so okay, so we've got that massive straightaway. So, well, I mean, there's going to be a lot of overtaking there. So the slipstream that we can get off these cars as well, that huge sort of oval section there. So that's going to be there's going to be some great battles there. Draft is going to be so important. We're going to have massive packs, I'm sure. The infield's not too technical.
The tyres are going to be tested, aren't they, in that middle
section? Well, they are, because it's actually quite slippy concrete, isn't it? It's not sort of like asphalt, is it, through there? So,
no, I don't think so.
So I think that's probably going to chew the tyres up a little bit, so we'll start to see the guys pushing and things like that, and those turn 1, turn 2, that's quite tricky, especially with these Kias as well on the back end getting a little bit light, so we might see a few guys dancing around there, so it should be an interesting race for sure.
Yep, I agree. Adam, you looking forward to Indy?
Yeah, Indianapolis and racing on the road course, so I prefer this one completely to the bike layout. I think that chicane really takes away from the racing, especially with the banking. We could see some photo finishes, especially at the end of the race, so can't wait for that next week.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much again for joining me here on BSR TV. Thanks everyone who's watching on YouTube live and who's going to watch later on as well. It's going to be a heck of the rest of the season. We've got 80 odd rounds left, so let's make them good. Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week at Indy Road. Goodbye from now from BSR TV.